Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Thank you. Wow. Hello, 50/50 girls. We are so glad to have you here. And we are wishing you a happy, happy Memorial Day. It is a beautiful Monday. Just so you know, we're pre-recording because we want to have a beautiful Monday too. But I want to welcome you to a creator-based life. This is the podcast for CMH Coaching. We empower women of faith to create the lives they love, the lives they've always wanted. And I'm here with Jacine. Jacine, say hi.
Hello.
Jacine's a business coach. She's a mom. She's a grandma. She's an avid runner. And I'm here with Jen. Jen, say hi.
Hello.
Jen's a coach, a can grow anything gardener, and a hypnotherapist. And I'm Beth, you know me, a master life coach, an author, and the creator of the Creator-Based Way. Create your one awesome, amazing, perfect life. Now, the reason I said y'all say hi is because in times past, when I was in speaker view, I just kept talking and nobody could see you. So this way, for sure, they could see you today because you said something. So now you know 50/50s, if you didn't already, who Jacine is and who Jen is, because they're pretty special people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So today we're here to talk about happiness. We believe as creator-based coaches that you are the creator of your life experience. And if I were going to create anything in my life, it would be feeling happy and loved and taken care of and safe, you know. What about you guys? What would you create if you were going to create anything in your life?
The same.
Hey, I mean, isn't that like, isn't that
we all just want to feel loved and safe and taken care of?
Right.
Sure. And most of us want to feel that way in our families and in our world. So we're going to talk about happiness and how we can create more happiness in our lives. And the way this has happened in my life is I started out the day wrong. And so I'm just gonna read you a little dialogue. You may have seen it this morning in Monday Morning Inspiration. It was a rough morning, just was. And my inner dialogue went like this. I woke up tired, and my dialogue was, "Oh crap, I'm tired. I don't want to do this." And so I complained. Why does this always have to happen to me? And then as I'm moving through, there was a glitch with the bills and I got worried. So I've been complaining. Now I'm layering worried. Then there was a change in my schedule, and it was not a change that was a happy change in my heart and mind. So I felt taken for granted. Well, you know, my time is valuable, but no, I went along with that and more work piled up. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, totally out of control. How do I do this? And then my back hurt. And all I could think of was, great. Now I'm going to be laid up and I'm not going to be able to do anything because I'm going to have to sit because my back hurts. Then I felt snubbed by somebody I loved and I got mad. And you can imagine how mad I got because I'd been working on it all morning since I woke up with the, oh crap, I'm awake and I don't feel good, you know? So that wasn't a really good way for me to create happiness, but it was the default for the day. And that's permission to be human, right? Some days are just like that. Let's talk about how to not have that be the default for the day. JC, do you want to give us some wisdom there? You feel free to pick it all apart, but that is truth. That is what happened.
I think that's humanity. We have those days that we just wake up and we're just like grumpy. I'm grumpy, and I don't want somebody to try and cheer me up because I feel like just be grumpy. I just,
Yeah, I can see it. I always see Braveheart and Mel Gibson when he's got his face painted. He says, "I'm going to pick a fight." That was that kind of a day. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I have this meme that it's the, oh gosh, what do you call them? The yellow guys that
The minion.
Minions?
minion. It's a
We
minion.
love the Minions.
And it's a meme and it's a minion. And he has a club in his hand and he's like, do you ever have one of those days that everyone's head looks like a piñata?
Yes, like that.
Yeah.
Like that kind of a day. So yeah, so getting out of that, I don't know that we have a choice in waking up that way. Yeah, I don't know why we wake up that way. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a bad dream. Sometimes we just haven't slept well, whatever the
Like
excuse.
for me, I wake up with a headache some mornings, and waking up with a headache it's a hard one to overcome. Yeah.
It is. Or you wake up late and you're behind schedule, whatever it looks like is, I guess, recognizing it. Number one for me is I have to first recognize it. And then I have to choose to, am I going to stay in this because I feel entitled to be grumpy? I feel entitled to, because I didn't sleep well. I feel, for me, it's that entitlement. And I want to stay in this area because I want some people to feel sorry for me, or I just want some validation, I guess.
Validation. Sometimes I just want to be grumpy. It's weird.
Yeah. So
But I
when you
really don't want to, because I know that
know,
as soon as I stop, I step out of it and I feel better.
right. So to me, it's a choice. I have to recognize that it is that way. And then I have to recognize that I have the power to choose to either stay there, or I have the power to choose to do something to get myself in another state of mind. And so that's it right there. I get to choose.
That's
And
a
if I
big one.
wanted, yeah, if I want to choose to switch my switch my thinking, it starts with breathing, just getting
Oh,
present,
yeah.
breathing and connecting with my creator, and maybe just like dumping it all on him and saying, well, yeah. But I really don't want to
And
feel
ending
that
with,
way.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you for listening. I really don't want to feel this way, and I want to be better for my family, or whatever that looks like. And sometimes that's good enough. Sometimes I need to go out and go for a walk. I need some physical activity. I need to remove myself from whatever that
People.
looks like. Yeah. And
Too
go
much
out.
people will make me grumpy. I have to be careful there. Yeah.
Yeah, go for a walk. Sometimes it is listening to music, something that is uplifting, whether it's music, whether it's a podcast. And sometimes it's listening to nothing except for the nature around me. So I think it's really, like Jen says all the time, get curious. What is it that I need right now, to help me break this cycle? Because it is a cycle.
It is. It is because, like you saw with my scenario, it just started and just snowballed. And
Mhm.
if I hadn't caught it when I did, I don't even know. I mean, it probably would have ended with a huge fight with my honey, and could have gone on for 2 or 3 days. I could have made a mess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as it was only me. What about you,
Sometimes,
Jen? What do you do when you wake up ornery?
sometimes for me, I have to feel the feels before I can change the thinking. So
True.
sometimes I have to lean into the feelings and just say, okay, there is something that just wants to be ornery and throw a little tantrum, and okay, do it. But let's do it in a space that is not going to be damaging to anybody, just like "Rah," and do it. And then once I like feel the feels or lean into it, however you want to say it, then I can be like, okay, so why? I get curious. Then I can change my thought and say, okay, I don't want to feel like this the rest of the day. So, I've expressed the feeling,
Mhm.
I've given it voice, or however you want to say it, I've identified it or whatever. And now I can hopefully choose to have a different thought and different state of being. And sometimes I can do that. And sometimes I'm like, oh, there's this deeper stuff, and I just have to
Yeah, and
continue
then you
to
get
like,
curious.
it's continue to like manage it throughout the day until I have some understanding. But it is part of just life. You're going to have those days that are not perfect. And I think that's kind of what is the problem with all of this. I've heard people call it toxic positivity, all this stuff like, oh, you have to be happy all the time. I'm like, no, it's not a state that we can be in. It's, it's
We're 50-50 for a reason.
exactly,
There's opposition in all things.
you're
Yeah,
going to have those not so stellar days or crappy days, however you want to say it, and
right.
you're going to have those amazing times and just realize that's really kind of how it is. It's like riding a wave. You've got the ebb and flow. Yeah. At least that's
Yeah.
my
Well, and
thought.
don't you find when you've had a series of rough days that when a good day comes, it's so much better?
So good. Yeah.
It's just so good. And it really is a 50-50. It's important for us to feel that contrast. It's how we learn and we grow.
Mhm. And what if we were to give other people permission
Grace.
to
Speak
just,
curmudgeon.
yeah, to be a curmudgeon, okay, I'm going to give you permission to do this. Tell me what's going on. And, and instead of taking things
Personal.
personal, thank you.
Yes, because I know for me, my default is to go into, well, it used to be, I can't say it is now, but is to go into being offended.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like it was a personal thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had an experience the other day. So we live on we live on a hill, and so my garden is on a hill. And so from the driveway to the top where I was doing some gardening is there's an incline, and I have a little cart that I put my dirt in and I carry it up, and I roll it up and everything. And usually my husband does it for me because he's like, I don't, I can do that. I can do the grunt work. Well, he got home and our master bedroom just looks right out into the back. And so where I was at, he could see me. And I'd asked him earlier to do it, but he just had a hard commute, and he was just like, I'm gonna lay in bed and chill for a little bit. But I hauled the dirt up, and the whole time I was telling myself a story about
I
like
know the story. Yes.
he just doesn't pay attention. He doesn't care about me. All this stuff and everything. Okay.
Oh.
And I got done doing that, and I was hot and I was exhausted. And I came in, and before I came in, I said, okay, you know what? This is just your story. He's had a hard, just like it is what it is, and just don't go into that state. So I get in and I go in to take a shower, and he's like, oh, are you off your call? And I'm like,
Thought you were on a call?
yeah. He says, you had a call. I was like, well, yeah, that ended like hours ago. I've been out in the back hauling dirt. And he's like, what?
While you were laying in bed.
Exactly. So it was this kind of like, he had no idea what I was doing. And I could have had the choice to be totally upset and grumpily and everything like that. But it was just like, I gave him the benefit of that. He just had a hard commute. And then I learned he wasn't even aware. He thought I was on a call and he was being quiet. And so now that I was in the room, he was ready to go do yard work.
Oh,
But
and that was a win for you. Imagine if you had gone full bore.
I know.
What a
So
great choice.
I'm learning that just sometimes people just have no idea what's going on. And so,
Yeah.
like he literally was being quiet because he thought I was in my office on a call.
Yeah.
And he had his earphones in. So, of course, he didn't hear anything.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
just explore a little bit about how we can avoid that misunderstanding.
Mhm.
That is something that I have noticed as well. You guys know my husband recently retired, so we're spending more time together. And after numbers of many, many years of him being gone, he speaks a different language than I speak lots of times.
Mhm.
And the only way that we really connect is through our creator, but we're getting better at it.
Mhm.
But that same thing of I say there are dishes in the sink, it's a circumstance, right? It's just what's there. And it can mean so many different things. It can mean, why don't you ever do anything for me? It can mean, I feel terrible that I left a mess in the sink. It could mean any number of things when he hears there are dishes in the sink.
Mhm.
Mm.
So how do we work with that difference in perception in the way because every person perceives things to their own unique circumstances. How do we work with that?
Mm.
Well, for me, just in my relationship, we just have to communicate better.
Yeah.
I mean, like he seriously, the assumption that I was in my room working, that and then later on in the evening when I was off my call, he would haul dirt.
Right.
Well, I thought he knew that I was off my call. He's laying in bed. He could look up and see me hauling dirt,
Right.
but he's reading. He's just
Because
really
he's completely relaxed because he knows
Yeah.
you're on your call.
Well, and he's also reading because he has downtime from his commute and everything. And so it's like, and so he doesn't even come back into like the reality of what is until I walk in the room.
Right.
And yeah, so it's just like a lot of it's just communication and don't be, and this is the other thing I had to learn just recently about it because I manage the house while he's working. I manage everything that, how it works and everything. And so I'm always saying, I want this, I need this, and he's just like,
That's a lot of eyes.
that's a lot of eyes, and everything. And he was like, well, that's really selfish and everything. And I literally, it was like, what? And I shifted in verbiage the other day and I said, is it possible that, in the future, like maybe in a month or two, that we can get a power washer to wash the house?
Yeah.
Totally on board. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. But if I had said, I want a power washer, he'd be like, demand, demand, demand. But it's like,
The
when I said, is
shifted
it possible that
verbiage.
we can get it? So,
Right.
and he was just all like, oh yeah, I never thought about that. But so I'm learning to change how I communicate.
Words matter. Words matter.
Words do
Make a big
matter.
difference.
And so
Yes.
in when we had our conversation a few weeks back, it was more like I came to the understanding. I was like, when it's an us thing, like the house is an us thing, even though I'm the one doing it while he goes and earns the money, it's an
Right.
us thing. And so
It's our home.
it's our thing. And so when I ask him, like I say, we need to get the vents cleaned, or we need to, it's an our thing. We are doing it together, not like I need to do this, I need to do that. The only time that I really say I need to do something is grocery shopping because he won't do that with me. So
Oh, well, there you go.
I need to
It's
grocery shop.
clearly-
Yes,
it's clearly
you
your
do,
job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
So that's been an interesting thing. And so kind of like to like bring it into happiness.
Mm.
When I was hauling that dirt, I enjoy gardening, but I was not enjoying gardening.
You were not in a happy space.
I was not in even a content state,
Yeah.
and I was, it was like, I'm ready to go 9 rounds with this man because, this is what I'm saying in my head.
Story.
And it wasn't even that at all.
Right.
So it's like, I think sometimes it's like going back to Jacene's choice. You can choose how to see things and how to experience things. Yeah, and so, yeah, I don't know. So
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Right?
And, yeah. And as we're pushing the wheelbarrow up the hill, none of those things.
And I even add to, is it true? I'll even add, well, it sounds true. It feels true, but is it true?
Is it
Can
really?
it be proven?
Yeah.
That was one of the Jenny Moore things that I loved. Can it be proven in a court of law?
Yeah.
I loved when she would ask that.
Mm.
Yeah. Can you prove it?
And Brene Brown in her book, which book is it? Rising Strong.
Mhm.
She uses the phrase, and this was life-changing for me in communicating with my husband, was the story I'm making up in my mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it just really takes that pressure off of the other person, because it really is a story that I'm making up in my mind.
It is all me.
Yeah. And then
It's what's happening in me. Yeah.
And then they have the opportunity to respond and go, well, really? That's so like,
That's kind of random.
Really?
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's pretty true, But most of the time it's like, wow. That's catastrophizing, right?
Yeah. Like that's really kind of bizarre. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
Well, and like you guys have been saying, resistance makes everything worse. right?
Mhm.
It's just that fight. We begin to have that fight and contention within us as we resist it. So let's flip it around and I'll tell you this scenario that I like better. Because, some days are better than others. This is the better day. Okay. So on this particular day, indeed, I did wake up tired. But instead, I spent 3 minutes in a loving kindness meditation that was focused on energy. So, like Jacine brought up earlier, I woke up and practiced breathing. And 3 minutes, I can do 3 minutes almost any day, right? I can take that time. Another way that really helps me if I wake up tired is to wake up in gratitude, or if I wake up uncomfortable, to wake up in gratitude and to start connecting with my creator and being grateful to him for the things that are good. And that shifts my focus. So this particular scenario was the 3 minutes of loving kindness. And then with the glitch in the bills, again, choosing gratitude. And the choice was, I trust my creator. We've made it this far. We've never bottomed out. I trust he will continue to carry me. Then when my schedule changed, and this is I love this thought. This is one that I really love because, again, going back to gratitude, I wonder what good thing that God has in place for me. What's this next happy event? Go ahead.
Can I tell you a little something about that? So there's this thing that happens in your brain. Okay. So when you tell yourself something like, oh, this is so hard, this is so hard, or like, I'm so unhappy, or whatever, things like that, your brain actually goes and looks for the proof of that throughout your day to say, yes, it looks for the truth. It looks for the proof to you.
Yeah.
It'll go back into your memories, but it'll also go throughout your day. Look, see, yeah, that's right. That's true. And this is subconscious. And so you're just like, oh my gosh. So if you could just change it to like, why is this so easy for me? Even though it's hard, why is this so easy for me? Or why am I feeling content? Or why am I feeling happy? Or why is this working out for me? Even though it may not be, but you're asking yourself what, your brain will start to look for the things that validate that prove it to you.
I love that.
It is fascinating.
Well, that's why that worked. I wonder what good thing that God is bringing into acknowledging my plans are finite, his plans are infinite. So I wonder what he's bringing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're wide open for the good to come.
Yeah. Wow.
So be so careful with what you tell yourself, and just kind of just flip it. Well, why is this working out today? Why am I so happy? Why am I able to do this? And
wonder why our podcast is going so well. Yeah, I love that.
Why I can pay my bills, things like that,
Well, and I like to celebrate too on the same things. It's so cool the way he blesses me, or it's so cool the way this always works out. I like that place of celebration and gratitude. It's good. Okay, so then the more work came in. And if you remember in the first part of this model, more work came in and I felt overwhelmed and burdened. And on the flip side, literally the flip side, it was, wow, I am really valuable. I'm providing a needed service. This is more evidence of how important the work that I do is, which just flipped it around. And then the unkind comment, which is one of my very favorite ones, is, that's okay. I love you enough for both of us anyway. That's okay.
Yeah.
I love you enough for both of us anyway. And then when I get to the end of that day, it's a beautiful day, right? Even though it was the exact same set of circumstances that I ran through the day, I'm riding the 50% on top instead of the 50% on bottom.
Right.
But we don't want toxic positivity. So how do we balance between constantly flipping and feeling all the feels? Do you guys have experience with that?
I have one of my favorite scriptures it's just a short little thing in a scripture that Paul says, in all things I look to be content. Yeah. And if you think about that, you can be going through something really super hard and not have to dive into despair. You can be content knowing I'm going to be supported doing this. It's not going to last forever. Something's got to shift,
Yes.
The
Yeah.
only
And
constant is change.
yes, exactly. And so, but then also on the flip side, when things are going really good and everything, not go to the like, oh my gosh, the next shoe is going to fall. I can't really embrace this. Just be content that it's that way. So I am learning to be more even keel with what's going on in my life, even though at times I'm like, this is really sucks, but it's like,
Right.
I am not having fun.
not having fun right now, but you know what? I'm learning to be okay in those spaces, which I think is what he's trying to teach us, to be content, because I know, in whom I've trusted. I know I can reach out to my creator, but I also know that this is going to pass at some point or change or shift.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when people say, oh, let's seek for happiness, I'm like, I'm just going to be open to when that happens, but I'm seeking for contentment.
Trust.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And grace. I think grace is such a big deal to be able, like you did that beautiful series on grace and grit, JC, just to
Mhm.
be able to allow people to be who they are.
Yeah.
That's why I love that. That's okay. I love you enough for both of us statement, because it gives grace. Yeah. Everybody's 50-50. And so when we're in that hard 50-50, don't we just cling to the people who are willing to give us grace?
Oh yeah.
Sit and listen to us.
And I love
Yeah.
how you said when you have a experience or you're going when somebody else is in their bad 50, it helps you to say, oh, there you are, you're in your bad 50, but it'll pass.
It'll pass. Yeah, that's a
It-
really important principle.
Mhm.
Yep. Change is a gift.
Well, and allowing, I just really feel like it's so powerful to allow ourselves, like you were saying, Jen, to feel the feels
Mhm.
and to acknowledge that it does suck. Because when what did you call it? The something optimism, what was it?
Toxic
Toxic.
positivity.
Yeah, toxic positivity. Because I feel like that was who I was for a long time. I would never allow myself to feel that pain or that suffering. And if I felt it, then I would just, oh, rainbows and unicorns. And like it drove my family crazy. They couldn't stand it, right? Because
It's not
they were,
real.
no, it wasn't real. It wasn't real. And that was something I had to learn
Mhm.
to undo was and
Mhm.
to actually let myself feel. And when I let myself feel, it was like for 90 seconds, right? Like
Right. That's how long
and
they
then
last.
and
25
then
to
it
90
changed.
seconds.
And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, now I can be better with this. I feel that weight is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's beautiful.
I love that.
Well, hope that was helpful. It was helpful to me. I certainly feel better. Let's talk about what's going forward, what we're doing this week, because we do have a great jumpstart coming up on Saturday.
We do.
Jen, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, so it's just some techniques that I'm going to teach you to connect in with your energy in your body and just how you can balance yourself out to have a better experience in life. Just some certain techniques that I've learned throughout my different trainings and experiences. And yeah,
So maybe if I'd had some of those to try the morning that I woke up and decided I was going to be grouchy.
yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, if you would do one of the or two of them, you could help shift that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 But also, sometimes when I am just feeling off, or if I don't have like high energy, I'll do one of them. And I'll be like, or I feel like I'm stressed, and I'm like, and it's not even like it's not even like that. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's kind of like that low stress. It's just always there,
The
and I
low grade that you can choose to go either way with.
yeah, and you're just kind of like
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of tired of always
So
having
blah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do one of these techniques, and you can really help your nervous system regulate. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see them. This will be the second year for this topic, and I'm always excited as we repeat because it's that much better every year. We loved last year, but now I'm excited to see because of what we've learned, right? Every year we're
A new
better.
layer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new layer. And so
I do remember last time we did this, Beth, one of the things is the central meridian one, the prime. You were just like, you were so funny. You're like, I feel so good. And like,
I was so relaxed.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was like, oh,
So
so
chill.
there you go. Yeah.
Well, and I was remembering, I don't remember what it is where we pass back and forth and how energizing that was. So
Mhm.
that'll be a good one to review as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So that's all the way Saturday. But Monday, you kind of got to get your week set up so that you're free Saturday morning. And it's on Eventbrite. And so if you go to Eventbrite, CMH Coaching, it's an online class. So if you're going to search Taming the Stress Tiger online class, and you'll find us, or search CMH Coaching and you'll find our page, and you can find it that way. We've been working on filling out the classes for the rest of the year, and I think maybe we have 6 of them. There's no penalty, y'all, in just marking your calendar and clicking for all of them, sign up. And then you'll get the reminders and you'll get the emails for them so that you won't forget. So that works. So tomorrow, after today's holiday, we have Coach and Clear, still just like regular, on time, 1:30 Central. And I tell you, our Coach and Clear group, I know I've been saying this a lot lately, but every week it seems like it's better. Every week it seems like deeper, more clearing, people walk away happier. It's just really making a difference. And so highly recommended for Coach and Clear. If it's something you're interested in, we do have enrollment open. Go to cmhcoaching.com/coach. It's real easy. cmh-coach.com. Say it for me, JC. My brain.
cmhcoaching.com /
coach. Right. Super simple. Super simple. And then Wednesday, it's book club.
Yeah,
and
we're finishing. Yeah, the art of gathering.
Finish it. It was
We
such
are. Wow, we had such a really, really good discussion. We have weekly discussions, you guys, at book club, and you're welcome to join book club. We'd love to have you. Sign up for the 50/50 Girl Club page on Facebook, and you'll get the information for the book club. But this month has been the art of gathering, and it's been, our discussion last week was really about purpose, and that's what it is, right? Everything. If we know what the purpose of the gathering is, we'll make better decisions on who we're going to invite, who we include, who we exclude. I mean, there's reasons why we would exclude somebody and reasons why we would include. One of the things that we discussed was one of our book club members climbed Mount St. Helens this last week. And she said it was the hardest hike she's ever done. They hiked in the snow and then they slid down the mountain with their ice picks, to steer them and to slow them down and stuff, just on their bums. But we talked about, there were 12 women that went on this, and, what that would have looked like had they invited someone that was new to climbing, or new to hiking, or, really wasn't, the elevation was high, if they weren't prepared, right? So what would that have looked like had they invited or said yes to somebody who said, hey, I'd really like to start that. Let me do that. It would have, somebody would have had to slow down, or they wouldn't have made it all the way to the top. It would have looked very different.
And the experience for the climber would have been tough.
Well,
right.
And it could have been dangerous. It could have been dangerous too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we're thinking about those things, the whole purpose, I think, of this book is to really think about your gatherings. What is the purpose of it? How can we help whatever our purpose is come to fruition? Whether it's, a purpose with, I had a church meeting this week, and going in there with a purpose of discussing and having an open discussion where people felt free and safe. That was an incredible experience, because me as a leader, and we need a leader in our gatherings. So, and that leader needs to know the purpose and hold on to the purpose. So anyway, if you haven't read the book, it's a great book to read. We are having our last final discussion. Everybody's coming together with their 3 top takeaways from the book, and and what they're going to do with those takeaways. So yeah,
that's
and
beautiful.
we haven't decided on our book yet.
Okay, and that's held Wednesday afternoons at 1:30 Central.
Correct.
And you can access it through the 50/50 Girl Club private Facebook page. So if you want to be part of the book club, put a request to join the 50/50 Book Club private Facebook page out there, and we'll get you in. Yeah, it's got a lot going on. I'm stoked about the Jumpstart. I just can't wait. That's one of my very favorite things we do every month. I mean, I love the podcast, but when I go to Jumpstart, Jen just feeds me for an hour and a half. And it's so good. And she's a great teacher. Just
Yes.
really, really
Amazing.
good. Yes.
Amazing.
So happy Memorial Day, everybody. And we will see you around all the different opportunities to create the life you love.
Mhm.
Have a beautiful week.
See you guys.
Bye, y'all. All right. See, this is
Did you
when
hear my
happy-
cat? He came in and
Yeah.
he was crying. Okay, this is the other one. I'll
Oh,
introduce
gosh.
him.
The gray one, right? Yeah.
Actually, the black one.
Black.
Oh, he's rolling on the ground. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not coming to you. But he's my big old fat frat boy. He just likes to lay around and sleep, cuddle.
I love it.
It's like, yeah, I'm good.
I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on linktree/cmhcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Moment by moment, it's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with